I'm recording this now, by the way. Yeah, for the halibut.
Yeah.
The halibut.
Yeah, see, some people will laugh at that still if I'm out doing shopping, and when I say the halibut, some people get a laugh out of that. I'm like, yeah, because I like this. I like fish. I still like fish, and besides, for the hell of it is just boring to me now.
I showed up late to the show, so I was just getting started.
Yeah.
I'm over here. I was starting to talk about deep stuff, and I'm sure.
Yep.
Sigh. How many times have you done that? I mean, the sighing, it's like, let's get this shite all over with already. But yeah, it's a good thing we have laughter. I know it's
right.
Yeah, I know that's a repetitive thing that we say, but still, it's like the amount of malarkey going on is fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
It is.
I've got a baby robin out here.
Oh.
He must have fallen out of his nest. And I don't want to touch him. He's in good shape. He's bouncing around, walking through the grass like a duck. Well, kind of bouncing, more like a rabbit. But mom is right here and she's watching. So I don't want to touch it because I've been told that the mothers won't accept the baby's back.
Right.
If they've been touched.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So, and I was going to mow, and I thought, well, maybe I better wait. Because I don't know how many were in that nest. And if one's out, anyway. They hopped right up here by my door.
Oh.
I was like, oh. And when I would reach down towards him, he opened his little mouth real wide. Like, you got a worm for me?
Oh.
Used to being fed by mama. Yeah.
My sister's in Rhode Island.
A little bit. Like,
My sister's in Rhode Island, and they have a fox problem going on in their neighborhood.
Ah.
They first had the coyotes, and now they've got the foxes. And this fox family's taken up roosts under their porch. So I've been kind of joking about it, but she said the one day she went out there to try to get them out of there, it was like it looked at her. One of them, she said, it looked at her like, help me, like it expected. And I thought, what is going on with all the animals? The animals always know stuff before.
Yeah, watch the animals, right?
Yep. It's just something that's up. I know everybody's like, we're talking about being bored, and I feel the same way. It's like, just kind of, really just.
I'm only bored at work.
Oh, yeah.
And even though I'm working constantly, usually it's very physical work. And even though I'm going, I just get so bored with the same repetitive stuff over and over and over. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I shouldn't explain too much. Sometimes I get to be creative over there. She likes when I rearrange things, and
that's nice.
She does. She said, Jane, you can decorate my house anytime. I was like, aw.
That's sweet.
It's funny you said the thing about the decorating, because if I actually had my own place, I would put actual stuff on the walls. I would probably get all even like an Alex Grayish type of thing going on here. I mean, something just stimulates the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
And I'm just in a rental. I'm just in a little rental. It's actually a big house. It's a big ranch that they turned into two places. But it's a nice looking place, but it's a rental.
Right. Hmm.
Which is something I'm so tired of, renting.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
That has been heavily on my mind lately. I'm like going through my head, what can I do? Well, make sure all your taxes are all up to par. And I pulled my credit reports last week for the first time in a few years, and with that, but I'm like, I gotta find another way.
Mhm.
And yeah, and again, that's what we were talking about tonight.
Mhm.
You think about our parents did the same thing.
They did.
Worked their asses off until, they were old and
For what?
right.
There's got to be a better way. When Danny was talking about earlier about what, questioning everything, and I thought, we all come to the table with something, and we each bring a bit of knowledge with us. It's like a puzzle.
Right.
Kind of how I look at it, and because really none of us know what the answers are, and we're all searching. But when it's a mass collective, like we all feel the same, or we're similar things happening.
Right.
It makes you wonder,
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
And even all of this, like the stupid mundane things that none of us want to pay attention to, that
Right.
are distractions, like the royal wedding. What was that all about?
Cared less. I didn't watch one part of it.
No,
None.
I just had
I
seen.
didn't even read an ad.
Right. I've seen stuff afterwards, in different, like the commercials and
Sure.
stupid shows, whatever. But nothing that I sat down and actually watched. But it's like, what are they? I always think, what else should we be looking at? Where else should we be looking?
Right. Bringing that up, it takes me back to, to my earlier years of awakening to this stuff, right? And you know where I think it started? I know as a child, I was curious George, and I questioned everything. I truly, truly did. But I think now I realize I kept wanting to say 9/11 was it. It's not. When I think I started to wake up, my eyes, and I began to question Princess Diana's murder.
Well, when I woke up, and well, that's true too. I think I started, and actually I was awake before that, or sort of like half asleep. Was when JFK Jr. died. Because that's when I started really digging down rabbit holes. And we were talking earlier in the chat at first about people watching you.
Right.
And I remember feeling like when I started going, because I started off with that and ended up all over the place. And I thought, oh my God. I felt like somebody like watching what I was doing. And my sister, I had told her something. It had to do with something. It was something with Bilderbergs, and then she was interested in all the stuff because that's when we first invaded Iran. And she wanted to know about that. She felt like all her shades were shut. And she's like, somebody was like peering over. It was like somebody was peering over my shoulder.
Creepy.
Like, right through my walls.
Ooh, creepy.
And she's the one that always really sees shadow people, and like it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That ability.
My friend is like that, and I'm like, I've always been grateful that I have never seen anything.
Yeah, I have. I see shadows. I don't think I watch. I think I block it.
Yeah.
Maybe not because of totally out of fear, but there might be a little bit of the fear factor going on. I just don't want to.
You said that thing, that like a little bit of the fear factor. I can remember being in my bathroom and coming out of it, and granted, whether you're on something or not, or you're just, as I say, sober. But anyway, how it's funny just how the mind works. Because I'm out of the bathroom looking like into my bedroom. Between the bedroom and the bathroom, there's this closet here, and it's like this for a few seconds. I thought I saw something. I just got the what you said, that fear thing, that and I told and what I've and it kind of I got that slight chills, like it felt like, made me think of those reptile like beings around us. They're supposedly around us, and and I kind of I shook it off. I kind of got a little angry. You get it's like if it's something that's trying to creep you out, just you call it, yourself says, no, hey, fuck off. You're not gonna that way nothing's gonna scare me.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't want to be afraid, because then it's gonna feed you off your fear. That's how I've been feeling about it. It's like, I just think that I'm not going to do anything that's going to give them any energy. They're not. I got to keep that for myself.
And you know what? That takes me back to when I mentioned that the world is, it's a stage.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes that deep, it goes so fucking deep.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. From cradle to fucking grave.
Yes. Yes.
And beyond.
Yes. I was watching it was a Project Camelot interview. I just happened to be flipping through stuff the other day.
Project Camelot. Yeah, I remember going through that.
Years and years ago. And this was 2010 that she did this interview with this woman named Ashiana. I think her name.
Oh, it sounds familiar. Ashiana.
I probably saw it.
Yeah, talk about, the dimensions, and she talks so fast. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, it was interesting. And I thought,
but you just said she talks so fast. Made me think of Laura Eisenhower, like when I kind of came across her, like what a good ways back. Laura Eisenhower, she would talk so fast, even to Alfred Weber. I'm like, could you slow down? And she's like, I have all this information. I feel like I just need to get out there and like slow it down.
She's always like that, though.
Yeah, no,
she'll tell you. She takes a lot of verbs.
Right.
And I suspect she does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you suspect she does what, Jane?
She says she takes a lot of herbs.
A lot of
herbs.
Herbs, okay. Herbs, okay.
Herbs.
All right. Yeah. That explains the energy then, because she definitely has a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what this lady was talking about, or basically, which I kind of know that anyway. I think we all do. What I've been trying to do is remember. I think because when we're kids, they say that you know what's going on until you're like 12, 13, when your third eye of knowledge or whatever closes. I don't know. I do remember being young and thinking that I remembered things, just that I knew stuff. And things made more sense when you were, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
And then we grow up and we're told, that's just, a fairy tale, or it's not real, or whatever. And we're conditioned and programmed until we get farther away from our spirit and what we're really, and not necessarily higher. Like I know Danny was like, she doesn't like the higher self. I just think it's our spirit. We go back to the, whatever our source is. And as above, so below. I don't know.
It's kind of funny you mentioned that too, the higher self. It makes me think of what Dee was talking about. So I think a lot of us maybe went to that in the 90s even.
Right.
Part of the 90s, that whole higher self stuff that came out, the whole new age movement.
Oh, yeah. And then we were introduced to The Secret.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. And Abraham.
Again, the world's a state.
It is.
It's
and look at it all. Look at it all. Do you notice? It's funny that because I've heard it said many times, but once you're awake, you don't go back to sleep.
Right.
So true. And then, like now, when I see things and I see like the black checkered floor, I think, like just different. I don't know. It's just interesting how it's like they're all there.
Everything has meaning.
Yes, it does. Double meaning.
Yeah.
And everything's reversed, and it's just really interesting.
I know, and we want to at least look into the sky and believe that
It's real.
Well, no, well, yeah, that. And I don't necessarily mean our clouds and chemtrails and that crap, but I mean just that we're on a real planet that really has a heartbeat and a vibration, and just like us, and we depend on it for our survival, and everything it produces we well, not everything, but what she produces we consume, what we need for life, etc.
Right.
And the oxygen, and to think it's all fucking fake.
I know.
Really? I mean, I get the government part and all the shenanigans and all the Hollywood and all that, but when you take it to that level,
yep,
and you realize, oh my God, all that stuff they say that our Social Security numbers are traded on our birth certificates are traded on the stock market, and I mean, everything from cradle to grave comes back.
Yes.
It just
keeps like regurgitating back through the
yeah. How do you really find how could you possibly find joy in a place like this?
From within.
For everything we do. Yeah.
From within. We have to
well,
right?
Right.
Like that's how we break out. That's why I still think that there's a they, and I don't know who they are, but I do think there is a they.
Yeah,
they like us, and I think that because we have what they want, and they can't have, unless
and believe me, I'll be the first to tell you, I've always kind of been optimistic,
mm-hmm.
And I'll be the first to tell you, well, maybe there's some good stuff on its way,
right?
And that's really what we're looking at,
right?
And they're reaching into their, for their dirtiest tricks at this point in time.
They're getting desperate. Look at all the crap going on with all the politicians found out, and then also, astrologically speaking, I've looked at astrology most of my life. I studied it just because I was interested in the planets and what have you. And not that I don't know what anything is anymore, but it's interesting that all the planets are all lined up. And I saw something that said that they're all on the same side of a sun coming up. It's like, which is interesting.
Oh yeah.
I know that Uranus, I think, or Uranus, however they say it. I've always said it the other way. Gone back through the cycle like 248 years. I'm probably getting it mixed up, but that's doing some major stuff this year. Pluto is, all these different planets, which I have to wonder, because that's all part of it.
Right.
Because then I was watching something about Nostradamus.
I saw it too last week.
Naughty Beavers.
Yes. There was
that was interesting. It's like, damn, how do these people figure this shit out? Because some of that stuff I see it. Other stuff, like I don't know, in the picture of you said the 9/11 or the 13, I don't know what it is, but it was just interesting.
Well, maybe we are the ones we've been waiting for.
Maybe.
The internet came into being during our lifetimes. And what did it do? It sent us all digging and searching, because it was like we all had this big virtual library.
Yep.
And we too, as creatures, we thrive on information.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Now, stick us in the square prison type buildings called public education, right, and we're miserable. Right. But set us loose and let the information just be available for whatever we want to look at. And what do? We go nuts on it.
Yep.
I was going somewhere else with that, but I got sidetracked.
And you just made me think of all these initiated. I've actually used that word instead of indoctrinated in my own head. I've used initiated into the system, and unfortunately, a lot of those parents that put those kids in college are clueless, or just as clueless. You got all these; they're so embedded in the system.
It's all part of the programming.
It's worked. I'll give them that. It's worked quite well.
Oh my God! Yes, they're geniuses. These whatever they are. Draconians or archons or whatever they are, they're sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me think of what Duncan O'Finian said way back. Yeah, on one of those OPRTs is like that one. Yeah, it's like when Duncan O'Finian said, and there seems to be some truth to it. It's like these entities that are really super smart. They're the ones that are most dangerous, the ones who lean toward this, if you want to call it the dark side, these, demonic. I don't even like that word anymore that much. It's just too, well, of course, they threw it in all these biblical things all over the planet, just anything demonic, and they've got people thinking that way, and I'm sure not all of it's like that. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if some of the rotten ones, they turn rotten. Maybe they already were. I don't know. It's like this is really super smart. It's really super smart to make the general population, including us, so stupid.
Yeah, but when you're looking at all that, you also have to remember, we don't know if there's even such thing as soulless, people.
Right.
Something that's always come back to me is, okay, I don't know. I guess I got it wrong, but I kind of thought that the planet at this stage was housing more human beings than in recorded history ever.
Right.
Because they talk about overpopulation and all this, right? Well,
is it real though?
My question is, where'd all these souls come from to fill all these bodies?
Good question.
So do souls keep on being born new and entering into the construct and into the bodies?
That I see what you're saying there, because in a way that makes sense too, along with the supposed recycling of
if that's even is God or creator, whatever you want to call him,
maybe the God thing is for the AI. I don't know. It's
still creating souls, or is it just something that just goes on and on and on and on and on? And
I don't know.
Oh my God, that when you said on and on and on, it's like
they say the universe is expanding, the earth is expanding, everything's expanding.
Right.
But we have overpopulation.
Right.
Yeah, I've started to question even more of that. What you talking about there? Yeah, the overpopulation thing supposedly. Well, I'm like anybody else here. We only see what the media feeds us through whatever it is. I haven't been to Africa or any of those other places where supposedly they have a huge population. Some places where all they know how to do, in some places where they're like, whether it's some parts of Africa or anywhere else where they're so poverty stricken that all they can do is just have sex, make more babies, and if there's a drug around, induce, it's because we're so.
Well, again, Steve, that comes all back to the control system. We're talking about a global, probably universal system.
I thought that too.
We don't know how far it goes.
You're right. You're right. I've thought that lately too.
Throw in dimensions. Throw in dimensions.
Yep.
Now we go further.
Right.
So.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that out, Jane, because I've thought that recently. That and
Sure.
so much stuff going on here. So yeah, like I said, when you say something, someone says something, it can trigger your own memory about this stuff. So yeah, it's like, and what, and for all I know, the so-called that they exist these black holes. For all I know, there's a bubble that goes into another whole realm or something. Yeah. Because we know it appears to me there's a lot of shit going on simultaneously, big time. On the surface, it sure seems like it.
Well, I was talking to my cousin yesterday, and she's asleep. I was trying to wake her up a little bit, but she's not hearing it.
Did you try a pail of cold water?
Yeah, I know. So anyway, we're talking about concrete, because I had heard there was a concrete shortage. And she said, oh, yeah, I've known about that. I said, did you ever stop to think about maybe where that concrete's going? She's like, well, no. I'm like, well, and then I started thinking about the water. Like, didn't Danny, I never meant to ask her, did the tide ever come back in? Because she had said that one.
Oh, right.
The tide had gone out and didn't come back in. And then I was talking about the different swirling lakes, where water going. Well, how do we know that they're not using that? That one guy that was that Phil Snyder guy, who, by the way, I just happened to look him up this week. When I first looked him up, they had said that he was killed. Next time I looked him up, it said that he died suicide. Then another time, because I was trying to figure if that's who the guy was, it said he had died of cancer. And I'm thinking, okay, was that kind of a Mandela effect? Just trying to figure out, because it was after I had told you guys about him, and I was like, you didn't tell the story right. So I went back to try to revisit it, and that's when I found all this other stuff. It's like, shit. But who really knows? If that's the case, that would make sense. But here she is, totally asleep, and knew that there was a concrete shortage. And I thought,
wow.
If they're doing something underground. Have you seen that thing with the Schumann's resonance, and different people have been talking about this thing that was streaking across the country?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
What is that?
This, you too. Yeah, it's like, that kind of stayed with me too a little bit. I kind of forgot about it because there's so much going on. But and I read that, and even I guess I clicked the article that it went through fast. Apparently, when I read, it was just like bam, that quick through the And I don't think
and it showed up on all these different Geiger counters, seismograph, whatever. Interesting.
Yeah. And I thought something, and you're probably watching Mr. MBB33.
I might have seen something about him. I don't watch all those guys all the time. It's something, the stuff that comes.
There's a few of them. One does one thing, and they'll all.
Right.
He was showing. I didn't watch the whole thing because I was in the middle of doing stuff, but he was showing the. What do you call it? The Gulf Stream.
Yes.
You know how it should go down through the bottom of the United States, it goes up the East Coast and over to Europe. Well, it was just going in a big circle.
Right. Yes. Saw that. I saw that. And then I think, like all the volcanoes, it's like, okay. And then, I still am curious about Antarctica. What the fuck? Why am I curious about that? I don't know why I keep going back to that.
Something about gravity just surfaced too.
Man.
There was something else about gravity that just surfaced. Oh, shoot, I'm gonna have to go back and look. I looked at so much stuff. And then one other thing. Electromagnetic.
Yeah, something about that too. Yes.
Yeah.
there's been stuff going on where things have been spiking, and then
I
another.
think Dabu did a show on that.
Oh, okay. Well, then there was something that one of them had talked about with Alaska had gotten like an alert for the seismograph went crazy, like they were going to get a tsunami or.
Oh yeah, that's right. I never found
that was like a false. And I thought, what the hell is going on here? What is going on?
Right.
I asked Don, my same cousin, who my uncle used to say, my father and all of them were farmers, but he used to say they're doing something to the weather. So I asked her, I said, when did he say that? And she said, probably back in the 80s. It was about in the 80s or the 90s. And I thought, he grew up out there. They were farmed most of their life. He did do other stuff, but I mean, they lived out there and they knew what the weather patterns were, and the weather patterns always were the same every so many cycles, but then it started changing. Mm-hmm. And it really did change. I don't know if you noticed it. I think it started changing in 72.
Oh my God, absolutely. I've watched it ever since.
And I noticed that the sun was hotter.
Yeah.
That's when I started noticing it. I don't know.
I remember when I started noticing the sun was white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so bright lately. If you notice that,
it's like a huge lead light bulb.
I'm not even looking toward the sun. I'm trying to look up in the sky, and I can't because it's so bright.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is after I've been up. It's not like it's, this is like mid-morning. It's like, what?
I took some pictures today.
Did you?
Because it was actually a pretty sky here today.
Oh,
but when I stepped out for a minute at work, I noticed they were laying a huge, fat chemtrail right across the sun. And I was like, some bitch. So I took some pictures. And something I found interesting, and I can put these in the UU room, but it was really interesting. So you got this white, bright sun and this thick, heavy chemtrail going across it.
Right.
But right there where the chemtrail meets the sun and exits the sun, it's all like gone.
Yeah.
I thought that was odd because the chemtrail goes up to the sun and continues beyond the sun, but right there where the chemtrail, that middle in front of the sun was all like just smoky looking.
Right. I've seen clouds like that and stuff like that too.
Oh no, but it was clearly the trail itself.
Yeah.
Interrupted. Yeah. I'll be right back.
Okay. But yeah, it's interesting. Who knows what's going on? The water, the everything. It's like, hold on one second.
I worked my buns off today at work. She has a 10,000 square foot house, not to change the subject, but she has a 10,000 square foot house, and she was having a bunch of women over tonight for some get together. So I had to go through and like give the whole house a once over, but a really good once over. So I'm like, I get home, it's like, give me a cold Heineken.
Actually, I think it was Heineken. I think it's it's been, wow. So I guess so many months ago since I bought some Heineken. Yeah.
I like that in Amstel Light. It's a Heineken Light, actually. It's not.
That Jane, you just reminded me of a movie scene that has a Heineken line in it. Movie from the 80s called Blue Velvet, Dennis Hopper in it. And this is like, because Dennis Hopper plays the villain in it. And so he's like asking that young guy, when they're getting ready to go into that drinking place, like, what kind of beer do you drink, boy? Like, Heineken. Fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon. But it's like that. I guess you're talking about broken up chemtrails thing just a minute ago? I've seen those. I've seen it here too.
No, I'm not talking about the standard broken up chemtrails.
No.
This was, I'm convinced, this trail went right across the front of the sun, but the part of the trail that was in front of the sun had been like diminished and turned to just.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's what you were saying. I caught part of that, but I didn't hear it clearly again. But actually, the part that went across the sun, basically dissipated, basically just dissolved it or something. Or
yeah.
It is odd.
I thought so. I really did. I so much so that I took some pictures. So
makes me wonder if there's. Makes me think of that thing where, but I don't know. Hell, maybe there's something to that. Maybe they are trying to buck up the sky more, because whatever that is out there, that star or whatever. So whatever is supposed to be coming in can't have for lack of a better way to put it, the vibratory effect on us.
Obfuscate.
I don't know. Yeah,
or maybe it's part of the cloning fabric of things.
Could be. Don't just love it when they keep us guessing. It's like, we're giving you notice, but since there are supposedly no rules, or what do you call it, makes me think of like an episode of the X-Files. It's like, damn, they're changing the rules, or they're bending the rules. Like when one of the lone gunmen is talking to Scully, and it's like, they are changing the rules on us. Shit, like it's like. That's what gets me. Something's not right. It's like some other source manipulating the bigger picture behind the scenes.
Absolutely. You know what though? I mean,
there's this. Yeah, I think. Go ahead, Jane.
You know what? Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you, honey. You can keep going.
I just saying that it's like it just seemed like there's like it makes you think of what I've been hearing about. There's supposedly AI. The Earth AI, then there's these other AIs, and but where the fuck did this AI come from? If there's this big overseer, where the hell did that come from?
But if we are all part of assimilation.
Thank you. Yeah, that made me just think of something. Go ahead.
How do we get out of it?
Right, I'm not saying that's the case, but
how do you get out of it?
I thought about that recently too. Yeah, a lot. Like that. How the hell do we get out of this? Like, there's no fucking way that I, in my worst state, in my worst state now, I'm not stupid enough to quote, or just sign up to something. It makes me think of Avatar. That one girl in Avatar says, it's like, screw this. I didn't sign up for this, man. It's like, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
We're all feeling it together at the same time. There's
absolutely
enough people feeling it.
But you know what, though? Okay, I can't help coming back to the human body and what this earth provides for it.
Right.
Because if it all is fake, which okay, but we're still consuming the plant life, and forget about the animals. If we were not consuming animals,
right,
plant life itself would sustain us.
Yes.
And so if what this planet gives off is enough to sustain us, then how can we not be part of the real thing? I mean, when you cut us, we bleed. And when you cut into the plants, they leak their juices.
Right.
But yet it can sustain us.
Mm-hmm.
And if none of it is real, what is that?
It's There's just
is it the substance of source itself?
Yes. I think we are. We are. That's
right.
And it's
And it's been taken over, infiltrated.
Right, and it's
The
something
whole
to do
thing.
with the heart. The heart has something to do with.
And I keep thinking about that verse, the prodigal son. And he said, but I would never give up on my son. I'll leave a candle in the window, and he did.
Yeah.
Oh, you said the prodigal son?
Yeah.
The prodigal, yeah, okay. That's one of those words that I haven't looked up in a long time, and stupidly enough, I remember an episode of, I used to watch this cornball show back in the 80s, Miami Vice. There's an episode called The Prodigal Son. So,
But I'm just saying, maybe as a mass, a mass creation, we really do come from our source, obviously, in my heart. And because it was taken over, who knows how long ago, I suspect many thousands of years ago. And maybe they are on their last leg. Maybe this is where, the night meets the day, and, the darkness meets the light. And maybe we are the ones we've been waiting for, and maybe we are here to witness this.
Right.
Yeah.
and maintaining your sanity at the same time.
Oh shit! With being like Christ said, I'm not of this world. I'm in it, but I'm not of it. It's like we say, well, we're in this matrix, but we're not of it. I'm similar.
Yeah. Fire the director. Yeah. I wish I came up with that one myself, like Danny said a while back. Yeah, fire the director. The actors are okay. It's fire the director. And maybe the editor.
How are we going to do a mass or collective meetup if some people are sleeping? Because like where Danny's at sleep time.
Right.
It's only 7.
She would suggest doing it in groups.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
Oh, D. Yeah.
My oldest sister and I did that years ago with a couple of friends, and it did work. It was interesting back in the 80s. It's like, it was kind of cool. Yeah.
Makes me think of even something I've heard. This is something they even had on Coast to Coast AM way back in the earlier. Well, after Art Bell changed the format, the theme. Like, I told my company, the company I work for, I wanted to start talking about aliens. And so the interesting thing they progressed into it, tied in with this about the things that we're supposed to be able to do. Like, if you've ever tried even, I guess, remote sensing. So, like you could just, I've tried. That's an interesting sensation, is when you visually just try to, or just put your awareness, your consciousness someplace else, even on a beach. I'm trying to sense this, sand under my feet, stuff like that. It's like, I think we're more definitely. I hate to use that word, not powerful, but just more creative, or have this innate ability to do this. Like, I found that fascinating years ago when I first heard that on Coast to Coast AM, is that remote sensing type of stuff. I mean, I've never tried remote viewing seriously, but remote sensing is definitely interesting.
I've had some out of body experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're aware of your I've never been able to be aware of it.
The last time it started to happen, it was different. It scared the shit out of me. And
Anxiousness.
It jerked me out. I was like dozing off, and I felt myself leaving, and it jerked me out of that state. And I swear to God, I had a hard time settling down after that, because it just didn't. It was fearful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I've
saying
done
the
that
anxiousness.
before and didn't have that, right? Yeah.
So you've done that before and never had that pull back the fear? Huh, that's interesting.
When it happened to me, I did it. I consciously did it, and it was okay.
Apparently, I have too much anxiety, just that underlying fearful thing. Because I remember I used to try doing it even in the '80s. I tried to induce leaving this physical body, and I would feel the jerking sensation of something trying to exit, but I always got jerked back in. My heart rate would go up.
Maybe that was self-protection.
Yes.
The thing about that is because I guess astral traveling and remote viewing are pretty much the same thing. But I did astral traveling in the '80s, but not a lot of it. I played around with it, but never tried remote viewing or anything. But I also know that you definitely have to ground yourself, and you have to do protection, some type of something that protects you, because something can jump into your
That's right.
body.
That's right. While you're away.
While you're floating around
That's
doing
right.
whatever, playing,
And maybe that was it, because
right.
in the past, when I've knowingly, I always prayed for God's protection around me.
Right.
And but this particular evening, I was just going to bed. It was the furthest thing from my mind.
Right.
And all of a sudden I felt this. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. That's scary.
That would be it just hit me. That would be, I guess, for starters, if you had that, but like you said, you've done it before, Jane. It would not without that happening, but it's like I'd hate to be doing that and then seeing, then I guess with soon afterwards you start seeing these like figures, like out of the movie Ghost, even, or something similar, just these dark figures. And it's like, that'd be, but I guess the end result of that would be like, if they're just trying to scare you back into the body, as opposed to trying to take it over. Because if you still have a little bit of what do you call it, your essence still in the body, then then supposedly they can't get to you if you still have some of your so-called soul, whatever it is in you. Like, makes me think what Duncan O'Finian said a long time ago, that if you astral travel, like Becky, you were just saying it too, is like, you have to have you should have a certain amount of protection. If you're going to do that, just, to do it without protecting yourself, then but if there's nothing in the body to protect it, I guess you could be fucked. Then you could be fucked.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well.
I mean, it's like, how can I put it? So that would have been me years ago. I was pretty naive back in the '80s trying to do that. I was pretty naive.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. That's why I didn't really do it that much, thankfully. And then later, when I, studied more about, then this is like years later, it's like, oh, what were you doing? What were you thinking? One of those kind of moments. But,
well, for me, and I don't know, I can't speak for all of us, but looking back, I see where I've always been on a spiritual journey.
Mm-hmm.
All my life. All my life.
Yep. Since I was, I was thinking about that the other day. Like,
I know. I was a child.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, and then we go through life, and then it's like, but why did I? And I've been awake, but it was like I had taken a nap or something. Like you know what I mean? Like coming back, getting sick and almost dying made me like,
sure.
Like, what the hell? How did I forget about all this stuff?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The Bible does say, I'm not going to.
No,
But I believe God says that you can't bring anything with you, nothing of this earth.
Right.
You have to come before me naked.
Right.
And maybe,
and as a child,
I've thought about that too, just lately, in like the recent week. I've thought about that. What you said about.
Look, it's the journey. It's the journey that allows us to start dropping the programs. Once we have eyes to see,
Yes.
we start dropping the programs, and
It opens, and then you
the
see
belief
it.
systems, and
Layer. Every
Yep,
layer.
yep. Because none of the material stuff I could give one shit about, right?
Right.
Right. But if I can, yes.
And
I
then
don't want to be part of any of this belief shit.
I don't either.
This system.
But I also, you have to be aware of like the negative shit that's out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I was watching a thing from Emily. This is a while back. She was interviewing that couple. Can't think of Geo. No. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, and they were talking about when she lived down. She showed them where she lived. I think it was in LA, and it was very interesting about how the different things were. It was basically a lot of. It sounded like a lot of satanic shit going on in this just a small area, like especially in this one building. You know, got away from it, thankfully, but as she was talking about it, it was like, oh, that's kind of, it really is real. People have to, you got to be aware of what's out there. That's why I won't live in fear, but at the same time, it's like,
be aware. Yes.
Aware is right, because there's a lot of darkness out there. It's like, if I let myself think about it, just like just now, I just got the fucking chills all over me. Because because there's a lot of shit out there, but.
And if we can believe in frequencies, certainly we can
absolutely
in the vibrations,
go higher and get
the energetic stamps that are on this planet.
Right.
Yeah.
You two just made me. Yeah, you two just made me think of something that. Yeah, you talk about some darkness. I mean, I live in a big town. Yeah, I live in a big town. Well, Jane, you know that Bloomington. It's like where off and on, it isn't just these. It's just a few people, like women, that are, especially some of these naive college women that I'm reading about. That there's these serial murderers around. That a lot of people are so naive about that, and the general public are so naive that I'm like, sense is gone. Sense is just really gone. A lot of people don't even carry anything to protect them with. You never know what like demon in the flesh you're going to run into. Mm-hmm. Like these girls who get murdered here in this town by some net. They find her body, mm-hmm. and they don't catch him until some woman gets away. He picks her up and gets in the car, and she's like, I read in the paper. It's like as soon as I got in the car, I guess just afterwards. What was it? She said, "Yeah, she was the one who escaped." So I didn't read the whole thing because it was in the newspaper stand. But anyway, she said, she said she felt she was in the presence of something evil. Like she made that statement and they put it in the paper. But yeah, it's like there's so many people who their perception. They have no perception about they have no perception about reality at all.
Well, but yes, see, the human senses sensed it.
Right.
Yeah.
See? Right? She might not get it up here, but the senses of the spirit or
the spirit.
Exactly. Because like she said, she was in the presence of something evil. And like I said, she at least had that inside or enough aware of it. There was something on a deeper level, exactly. Whereas some people, they don't pick up at all. There's a lot of people who just don't pick up on that. They're in the company of a wolf, basically. They're in the company of a wolf.
You want to hear something miraculous that happened to me today?
Yes.
This is off the wall. I was driving home, and my truck said that I had like a quarter tank of gas, right? And I'm almost home, just around the corner. And what was strange is when I was leaving work, I said a little prayer. right? Asking for safety back home.
I do.
And right around the corner from home, my car started like puttering.
Mm.
And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm giving it gas, the gas pedal, and it's not taking it. And but then it took it, and it got me around the corner and into my driveway.
Wow.
And it stalled.
Oh no.
And it starts right back up, stalls immediately again. So even though it said I have gas, it felt like it was out of gas.
Oh.
It took me to my driveway,
Yep.
15 miles away.
Yep. Oh, I believe we have protection. I really do. I do that before I get on the road. I always, I do like a circle of light to protect me and all the people traveling with me, because I don't want to see any accidents. I want everybody to get to their destination on time and alive. And I, knock wood, normally I don't see accidents. When I do, it's when I forgot to do that. And I do it for the house, like I always just draw in like the good energy that's there to help aid. And not that I think then that's creating bad stuff, but I don't know. I
don't know. I think God's been showing me some things lately. Something else extremely miraculous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I want to share it right now, but something else that was very, very miraculous happened. Well, my whole trip to Florida last month had key elements to it that came out of the total blue. Like my oldest son and his wife and my grandson, who live in Denver, happened to be in Orlando at the same time I was. None of us knew the other was going to be there, and they didn't bother telling me they were going to be there because they thought I was here in Indianapolis. So why bother telling Mom we're going down there for a few days and we'll be back home? And I didn't say anything to them because my trip was spontaneous. So I got down there and there was that. But I had an experience during that trip that absolutely blew my mind, and I've not gotten past it since. And I just know that there's something, I can't tell you what, but that's been showing me, almost like, I don't want to say protecting me because I don't want to sound like I'm assuming anything, or, you know what I mean? Because I totally appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something going on in my life right now.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm grateful.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
This all could really just all be related to something. This whole God thing, like I heard some woman say many, many years ago, heck, I mean, gosh, it's probably since around 2000, that, I just remember hearing it on the radio, like this lady's guest said, GOD, generator of dimensions. Well, I know this whole God thing could, these people who are, in that save me mode, fine, but, all right, well, your so-called God that you've been programmed, trained to believe since you were little, what if this so-called God isn't what you think it is?
Right, but you got to remember, Star, we're all on our journey.
Right.
There's
true. This is the way my mind works sometimes. So I start.
I know.
You
are where you are, and they're where they're.
Questioning stuff, anyways.
By the time they get to where you are, you'll be way past where you are now.
Well, different things come into my mind at different times. And the other day I was thinking about the movie with, what's his name? Oh, shit. The guy that was an Easy Rider. And he's a...
Easy Rider, Peter Fonda, Jack Nicholson.
That movie, he's the Marine dude, and he's like, you can't handle the truth.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, A Few Good Men.
I thought, people can't. I remember when I was in high school, My history teacher knew somebody that worked at NORAD, which is in Colorado. It's in Springs. Are you guys familiar with NORAD?
I didn't know NORAD was there. That's where my son and daughter-in-law live now.
Yes, and it's in the North American Radar and Defense System.
Yeah.
In the
They
mountains.
have towers. They have towers all over the place.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, so he said about he was talking to him about aliens, and the guy, he said all he would tell me was, if the American people knew the truth about UFOs, there'd be a national panic. And I thought, there's so much more going on than what we know about.
Right.
And I think that we've gotten snippets of all of it. It's like the puzzle. We've gotten the pieces to the puzzle.
Yeah.
Through various movies, songs, numbers. Danny was talking about numbers. I've been looking at Fibonacci or whatever the sequence of numbers. That just to me, numbers always have fascinated me, but because I really think there is meaning to them, and there's a frequency with them, vibrational frequency. And there again, I think is how that's one of the ways out of this mess, is raising our vibrations. And maybe that's why we're all here together, is to help each other lift up to, so we can all get to the right. I don't know. Everybody shows up when you're supposed to. That's the way I feel about it.
Well, yeah, and sharing, bonding.
Right.
Bonding is uplifting in itself.
Yes.
And that creates its own vibration.
Right.
Rather than sitting by ourselves, contemplating to ourselves.
Right.
Right.
Thinking, am I crazy? Which I do.
Yeah. Well, we are crazy. We're not of this world.
No.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that. Not of this world, because like this. Yeah, with the general population, I feel more alienated. I just came up with that one, alienated. But yeah, yeah, because I mean, there's not that. I haven't really came across many others I can actually have this on this level, this communication on this level, this talk. I mean, I can't. There's not that many people out and about I can do this with, and they're not around here in this building area, this apartment complex. Because, like I said, to make a joke of it, yeah, I kind of live in feels like a mental institution with apartments. But not everybody here is mentally off. Or some people that aren't, I guess regular people. I don't know how to put it. People who are not mentally gone. They're mentally just there more. But
Right.
and I guess, but. The power of just manifesting, or just like you said, or what Dee was saying, just doing that, what she was mentioning earlier, yeah. Because the rest of it's kind of boring. I mean, it's sort of like, it makes me think of how can I put it? I don't know, I'm trying to think of some, I hate crude analogies, but sometimes that's the best thing you can come up with. If you're trying to build a boat with heavy-duty cardboard or plywood. I'm going to build a little fishing boat with some really heavy plywood. Yeah, just heavy plywood won't do it. I'm no boat making expert, but I know that won't cut it. Try it if you want, but don't cry to me when you suddenly start taking in water, possibly after a while, or so many days, or so many hours. Yeah,
Like, the wood just swells. Because it's all pressed.
Right.
Yeah. New meaning to your own boat. Actually, your boat sinking your own boat without realizing it. Oh, shit. I should have built this boat differently. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I used to do a lot of fishing in the 80s, too. Part of the 70s and part in the 80s, I did a lot of fishing. I mean, I was literally into that stuff. I was kind of raised that way, but I like knowledge. There's some things that aren't a big deal to me. I mean, the sport thing, if you want to call fishing a sport, I tend to agree with George Carlin on some things about sports. But yeah, cheers, Mr. Carlin. But it's like, that's what makes me think of, which How many of us are still trying to get this honed or doing it right? Doing it right the first time, whatever decision you make, that's a leap. Doing it right the first time. So I want to get that right.
Right.
Making this, it's like doing the same thing. It's like doing the same thing over and over, similar to that. And it's like, it's like.
And that's what every single human being on the planet, for the most part, is doing.
Right.
Doing the same thing every day, over and over.
Break the fucking cycle type of thing in some way.
Why wouldn't we be bored shitless?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking about it when I was driving home from work today. I was like, the traffic, and everybody's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
This system is alive to make sure everybody's commuting, and they all are in their cars that they don't own, but they're paying the bank, and they're pulling up into the driveway that the bank owns to walk into the house that the bank owns to open the refrigerator that the bank owns. And yet they do it every single, and they stop at those lights, and they pull over for the nice officer, and it's so fucking rhetoric and gross.
How do we break it?
I find it gross.
That's what we got to figure out, is how to break it.
Thank you for using that word. Yeah, Becky, you mean, thank you for using that word, Jane. Gross.
Yep.
I think a lot of things are gross. I could go into some more details on that.
To me, that's the most gross of all.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gross what we're doing to ourselves. It's gross what we're allowing to be still, but it's like what you said earlier. This ties back to what you were saying earlier about this. It's like I've gotten past that finish line of fear more. I'm like, I don't give a shit. It's liberating. Like I mentioned to Peggy, Pegasus earlier. Letting go of a lot of shit is just liberating. The fear and all that. I feel a little more. I feel more relaxed.
Right. But unfortunately, we're still part of the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we just need to learn how to play in it and find our way out of it.
I think being positive.
Yep.
The heart has something to do with it. Something, I don't know why, I just keep going. It's love. It's because it's love and fear. And I really think that has, I don't know.
And again, Beck, people have to be.
Yeah, it made me think of a maze runner.
We're all on a path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in order to get enough to that point to actually have an impact on the whole, I don't know what that takes, but
it's enough to like we were saying earlier. I have this inside of me where I'm pissed off, annoyed, aggravated even, and then I have to. Then you have to remember is like the fact that I'm still here, dealing with this, and I have to be able to laugh at the same time.
Sometimes I don't think that I don't think we can wait for everybody to wake up.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Exactly. I'm not. I'm done with done with the slacker thinkers. People who don't want to go deeper and really deep into themselves, and it's like, get over that hurdle already. Are you just gonna wish you took the blue pill now all of a sudden? It's like I've been there. We've been there through that. The blue pill thing. I'm like, I remember I haven't had that day. Well, you think here, the blue pill. I know. I'm thinking of that again.
Have you ever thought about how hard it must have been before the internet?
Yes.
Past generations to find each other who were like-minded.
Yes.
I mean, they had to go through a lot of shit
Yeah, they did.
come together to find each other and come together. But there's always been seekers here.
Absolutely.
Always been seekers. But it seems, I don't know, I just feel like we have seekers here now in numbers, probably like this reality is never ever. But then again, you know, did they pull all these other souls in? So the seekers
Or are those other
as the
souls
seekers?
here to help with the
Right.
process of moving us out of this existence?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, existence. That's one thing. And that's one word I've been using lately too. Existence, because that's all I'm doing is existing. I've actually told people that in Lucky's Market here.
Yeah.
I've actually told people, they're like, so what do you do here? What do you do here? You know, and I only like being asked that, admittedly, by ladies, because they ask me, what do you do for, I know what that usually means, what do you do for a living? But, and I say existing. I just say, I'm just kind of, I say that a lot of the time, I'm existing. I imagine some people don't know how to respond to that. A lot of people wouldn't, because they're used to hearing the common responses to that.
Loser.
Yeah.
That's how the world responds to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, Steve, by having to be in the matrix but not being of it.
That's right.
Yeah. Stephen, by the way, I tell everybody this around Bloomington. If someone calls me Steve, I say, yes, Stephen, or Starwater.
I'll remember that, Stephen.
Stephen, yeah, it's just I got real picky about stuff. I've even told when I did talk to certain people about, one thing we also lack is a collective self-respect. Collectively, we don't have any real self-respect. Or else we wouldn't be putting up a lot of shit we did. If we had any of that real self-respect, people wouldn't be so docile.
That's right. We wouldn't have to worry about putting up with it. Because
Yeah.
everybody would get it,
Right.
you know? Right.
It's intriguing.
What's that, Becky?
It's intriguing.
Yeah.
Yeah, intriguing. Makes me think of, I'm thinking of Data from Star Trek. I find your work intriguing.
Well, you know, like, how did some of these people write books, and where did they come up with their ideas? It makes me, where did they get that knowledge from? Was it given to them? Did they wake up in a dream? You know, I don't know. Time travelers? I don't know. Who knows? It's all possible.
Makes me think of that flow. When you said the writing, when some of these writers or somebody who just writes a book, it made me think of what and Joe Rogan, for what he's worth to me anymore, because sometimes I've had questions about Rogan and some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth. But he's talking to somebody on his podcast about that. But you just said, Becky, shoot.
Where do these writers come out of? Where do they come from?
Yeah, where do they get their ideas?
The people that lay down the narratives. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. But he was saying about the flow. I think he might have been talking to Graham Hancock, who's another interesting guy, Graham Hancock. But I've been talking to him about it. How when you're either writing comedy material or you're writing a book, you're in this flow, and it has nothing to do with the brain. I should say with thinking. It's like you're in this flow coming from somewhere else when you're writing, and you're just in it. And then, like Rogan told him, then sometimes it'll just stop. The flow will just stop, and you get with what's known as writer's block. What we call writer's block, even. Yeah, I just have to think about that because I think I've experienced that myself in my adult life. If you'd be writing something, and then bam, nothing's coming to you. Yeah.
Just have to flow. Go with the flow.
Yeah. It's like leaving the chattering brain, the chattering mind out of it, which is, that part I went through hell with when I would try to write. My brain, I was like, shut the fuck up and let me just be in a flow. I just want to be in a flow. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's hard.
Right.
It's hard. Yeah. course, if you've been doing it, like since you were a kid or maybe in your teens, like these people you seem to have yeah, I mean, that's what they were here for on this realm of this planet. Here to do a certain job, and they did it and they left. Like George Carlin. His mother was smart enough to leave their father.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helped. I remember I've seen Carlin in some interviews, so yeah, he was very open in his interviews.
He was interesting. He was ahead of his time.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of those people were.
And again, that kind of takes me back to what I was saying a few minutes ago. You know, generations before us, that people that were awake.
Thank you. What you just said, that is odd to me. I mean, maybe there's some genetics involved. Maybe there's some labs that I've thought about. There's maybe some of these labs. There's under surface labs that have been here for thousands of years, and they're experimenting with stuff unbeknownst to the general population still, and they're putting out experiments to see how good the gene pools spread out and shit.
Right.
Yeah, and for all I know, that's why some people just because I'm existing in it, this area where I live, and it's like it just seems like for whatever reason some people get it at a young age, and some people seemingly never get it.
Yeah.
And then you have the monsters, the demons in the flesh walking the planet, like I mentioned earlier. This is bizarre shit going on.
Right.
And it's real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And you know, they do seem to be tightening their, cages.
Yep.
On humanity.
Yep.
They definitely are.
They're losing.
We can't ignore that. That's happening.
But that's why you can't give in to that. That's why you can't give in to the fear. You know, my sister, and she's not awake. I was talking to her yesterday, excuse me, and she said about how, she's just not going to get mad about things anymore. And I'm like, that's a good idea, because, and of course I'm thinking of it for other reasons, because to me, when you're mad, you're feeding into that. That's what they want. They want that bad negative. We got to keep it positive and keep it on the up and up. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just for me. That makes
But
sense.
at the same time, anger
it's good. It has its positives. I know all about that.
It does. You need to get it out. It's purging.
Because in order to correct wrongs, you got to be pissed.
Right. But
Exactly. Being pissed off has become almost a normal thing to me deep down.
Not to say that what you're saying, Becky.
Right.
Because I do.
Right.
At the same time, it's like if you have violent thoughts, I admit, part of the anger I've had, it really sucks when you have to admit to yourself, being angry at yourself for being a slow learner. Like I felt like I was not getting anything in my early youth about what was really going on in my environment. And it's like
most people are that way.
Yeah, but I think it's perfectly, unless a person's been through a really rotten experience. If you grew up around an okay household, an okay one, they wouldn't know what it's like or something like this. They went through a lot of verbal abuse. And almost physical abuse. Well, some physical abuse to a point, but it makes me think of Louis C.K. talking about how, I hit my kid because he was doing something I didn't want him to be doing. So guess what? I slapped him and he quit doing it. Oh, well, that wouldn't be taking the easy route, huh? You ever heard of talking to your kid, you retard?
I know, but look where we came from, Steve.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
I'm not saying the one particular family. I mean, the history of Americans I know. Even in the public school systems, the principals used to paddle the kids.
I got that. I got paddled a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah, there were a lot of fathers that beat their kids.
Oh yes.
Yeah. My brother got it worse. Since he was the oldest. It was just, it's like I've told people, I don't even want to sound like a broken CD as opposed to a record. Like I said, that's burnt out. And it's like, what was I gonna say? It was if I can remember
But
exactly.
adding, you know what though, adding the abuse into the programming of American parents or world parents was just part of their, you know, the programming, the agenda to degrade the family and cause division and, you know, dysfunction and all this other shit.
Right.
Whereas, you know, the Bible does say, spare the sword, spoil the child.
Right.
So you have to, there's a balance, but there's
Middle of the road.
there's an intelligence there, you know, and it does, I'm not talking religion, but we all have it. We all have it naturally. We all have intuition. We all have at least some level of common sense if we have full capacity, I guess, right?
Yep.
And some people have a limited capacity of common sense because if you were in that environment, yeah, I realize now how much sense a lot of people don't have, even in genetic families. Like I think Carlin might have. He was. I think he was accurate to a big degree. And Carlin said he thinks luck is genetic. Some people. Yeah. I think that some luck is genetic because, I mean, how many of us are mutts? I don't have a pure Irish family. I don't come from apparently, some people, their grandparents of both sides are one, like Irish or English, whatever. It's like, but I guess I feel like I got a little lucky because, yeah, I'm a mutt. Apparently I'm a mutt too, like a lot of people. So it's like, but at least I have this awareness that I didn't have it. I don't know what I was going to say too. It's like, had to do with someone said, well, back in a video. Oh, I know. Ironically enough, or not ironically enough, another Joe Rogan thing where he's interviewing a lady, stand-up comic, Whitney Cummings, and when she told Rogan, she's like, a dysfunctional doesn't describe the family I come from. Sick describes them, sick. And that describes the genetic line I come from. I come from a sick line of genetics. They literally just have no self-awareness at all. I'm gonna put it, they're so egocentric and narcissistic. It's absolutely, you could call it deranged, type of derangement.
And all-consuming.
Yeah, because when two people are in their 70s, have been together for over 50 years, and they're still acting like teens, they still have to. They had no emotional development or mental development at all.
No growth.
Yeah. It's, I mean, like, thank you, gross. That disgusts me because, especially if they're that weak, they can't look at themselves, and they have a hissy fit every time their discussion gets turned.
That's the box, Steve.
Yeah.
That's the box.
Yeah. They're in a very tiny box.
That's where they feel safe.
Right.
Yep.
That's where they feel like they can. Yeah.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. You find out one of your grandparents was only 16 when, she was a 16-year-old girl who, I'm curious by nature. I wouldn't have found a lot of stuff found out unless I no, I have to know. I have that type of mindset. I have to know some things because they're not going to tell you the truth. Maybe think of another thing, the macrocosm, my microcosm. It's like this, whoever came up with those terms. Think of how much deeper it goes in governments. These people, all of them came from some fucked up family to some degree, whether they were wealthy or not. We know they come from different environments. And some of those people that work in, I'm convinced, we have a lot of boys in government, a lot of dumbass boys.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I gotta run, guys.
Okay.
I would love to keep chatting, but I gotta go.
All right, Becky.
So, all right. Love you guys.
Love you. Love you, Becky.
You too. You guys take it easy. We'll see you on the boards, okay?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I got to get going too, Steve.
Okay. I'm just glad we get to
got
talk.
home- I know. I got home from work and immediately jumped onto Danny's show, and I was an hour late. And yeah, dun.
And my brain, yeah, I have to admit, is like, it's the shit. If I had a motorcycle, I would ride up there.
Well,
That's the one. Yeah, it's. Oh yeah. I'm like, yeah. Now, too bad you don't have a doppelganger over in here in Bloomington. Yeah, a duplicate copy.
what are you talking about?
You, Jane, like, yeah, yeah. I keep it here because your mindset, you know, or since we're all, yeah.
Right?
Shoot, we'd end up talking for, it'd be like, gee whiz, we've been talking for 24 hours. Well, now it feels like more like, what, 20 hours or 20, you know, I say now 24 hours feels more like, I guess, closer to 18 hours now.
Hi. Hey, baby. Come here. Spiders. My cat.
I was wondering, I thought it was a cat, yeah, a cat or a dog, but yeah. Tiger.
Name is Clyde. I used to have Bonnie and Clyde, but Bonbons got killed by a car.
Bonnie and Clyde.
I had Bonnie and Clyde, yeah.
Cats. I guess that's what you said. But
They're brother and sister, Bonnie and Clyde.
Cats? Did you say? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. That my brain and my mind was started going in another direction besides that. I guess I was, you know, even thinking of that movie for a millisecond. The original Bonnie and Clyde, of course. Yeah, Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway and
Right.
Gene Hackman in his early days.
You like the classics.
I like a lot of different ones, but that Bonnie and Clyde one, I know I've watched one. I watched it at least once.
Oh,
but,
yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I've definitely, yeah. And I've watched Rebel Without a Cause once.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Remember that song? Bonnie and Clyde.
Thankfully. Who sings it?
I forget.
Yeah, I'm not thinking, yeah, I could always YouTube it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it pop up.
I'm having some of that too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's you know what? Funny, Jane. I was just thinking this recently. You know, just how stupid we are in this state. Well, a lot of places are stupid, but the fact that after 200 years of Indiana being in the union, they finally legalized alcohol. How stupid is that over cannabis? But apparently, cannabis is this thought just hit me. Apparently, more of a profit thing. That's probably why they won't do that.
Oh, yeah. They're going to make it legal. But the government's going to have their hand in the cookie.
That's what I mean. That's what pisses me off because it requires, like I told some people, even in Lucky's Market, how stupid it is because I know like cannabis. Well, they did the same thing with alcohol and that. You know, the legal work, the paperwork is shit. You know, they do the same thing with cannabis, obviously. I think you froze on me. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you froze on me for X amount of seconds. Everything froze. It froze again. Huh. That's odd. Okay. I know you're still there. Yeah, I just don't. I see her still. Yeah, that's all. I just see her still. Pick. Okay, she fell off. Okay, so now I guess I should get off anyways. Hmm. Anyway, I think I'm going to jump off here soon if.
Hello.
Oh, hey there, Pegasus. Yeah, as you know, yeah, Jane just dropped off for whatever reason. Yeah, well, you saw it. Yeah.
I had to do some stuff, but you know, I'm back now.
You,
tired?
oh, okay.
Hmm?
What were you going to say, Pegasus?
I said, are you tired yet?
I've actually been kind of tired since I woke up, but I'm on like maybe, I'm trying to think here. I'm probably on 4 to 5 hours of sleep, but it's a good thing. Well, I'm somewhat conditioned to it, even though, yeah, I'm going to have to make myself sleep longer when I, do fall asleep sometime tonight. You know,
Yeah. What time is it there?
it's like 8:30 here, depending on which clock you look at. My computer clock, it seems like changed again. I turned it back to the old time that here in America when they do that, daylight savings time crap away still in Indiana. Yeah, but my cell phone clock, my phone clock reads an hour earlier than my laptop clock. So I mean, either way, yeah. So it's 8:30, 9:30. I should just say 8:30 for the hell of it. You know.
It's 10 in the morning here, and I'm fully awake now.
Fully awake. Okay.
I've had 5 coffees and a shower, and we had the Zoom meeting first, and so you've been up for a while.
Yeah. Having any caffeine?
Yes, it's just instant coffee, but I've had 4 of them.
4 of them. I guess it depends on how big a cup you're drinking out of, or a mug.
Yeah, not a teacup, a mug, yep.
I'm drinking this stuff here. That's what I'm drinking. Well, you can see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it freeze-dried or is it granules? Or do you know the difference?
It's some generic, what do they call it? The better generic mocha, that fancy cafe frap.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I should have just said, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just coffee in a bottle, coffee, milk, and sugar in a bottle. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't bought beans for a while. When I do, I do the whole thing, but then you end up throwing half away because it's not a habit for me.
Yeah.
Well, I never get through a whole thing of beans, put it that way. And after a while, it's not recommended, so. Oh.
So what's like?
Oh, funny.
I guess it's just wow. I'm just trying to come up with something. Oh, it's like I'm sort of like just damn. I think I feel like the whole liberating thing is like I still let's get this. It's like trying to get to a bad film, watching a bad film with lousy directing, and I didn't sign up for. I don't think I signed up for this film the type of film. Yeah, give me a different script. I'll write my own script. Yeah, that's I should have said. Write my own script.
Fuck. Yes. Funny thing is, I think we already did. I think we were a little bit cocky. And we went, no problems. And then we got here, some problems.
I hope the cocky. Who's talking about? Who is all cocky? Oh, you mean?
I think we were before we came here.
Oh, okay.
We're like, no worries, I've got this.
Could be. I'd hate to think that. That would, yeah. Be thinking on that. That would be, yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, Pegasus she just said it really, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, that's what I reckon.
You just said it. I like the way you put that. Yeah, I just like the way you put that. Yeah. Yeah, we thought. Yeah, I'd rather that not be the case. Really. Yeah, that'd be nice if that wasn't the case. Because I'd like to think. Yeah, it's quite the opposite. That would be something. It's like nah. But now it's like. Yeah. Now it's like. Yeah. Don't be cocky or arrogant. Yeah, I'm not some sort of know-it-all. I like to think I have an idea what's going on, but hell, like what do you call it? It's like
that's the word that I used, right? Because before we came here, we were a bit more whole, right?
A bit more what?
Human attributes. So it probably wasn't cockiness. It was probably more assuredness. Like, yeah.
Hopefully not. Like I'd want to tell someone, whoever, supposedly is in charge, if there is somebody that actually signs some agreement with, supposedly. It's like I signed up for this really, but I was awful goddamn arrogant if I did. I take that back, and now I feel really dumb. Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's to make you feel dumb. It's just,
well,
everything's personal growth, isn't it? Every fucking thing is personal growth.
Well, you have
we keep doing that, we should be okay.
Well, you raise a good point there, Pegasus. That's not to sound negative, but it makes me think of what other people have said who've been going this direction for a long time. It's not, it's what you do with it. And even I have to have a refresher on that. It's what you do with the information that makes it negative or not. Yeah. Heck, if so,
and revision is always good. Revision is better than having to do the lesson again because you forgot a bit of it. Revision isn't a repeat, it's just a refresher course. I'm always updating things as I go. Something I thought last year has probably slightly changed now.
Yeah.
I don't believe things, so I don't have that problem, but I think a lot of things.
See, think back on problems. What did you say? Or you don't think back on? Make sure I heard that right.
I said I don't really believe anything, but I think about a lot of things. But I don't actually believe.
Yeah. Which is, healthy to me because, it's like, a person can believe what they want to believe, but it's like, where do some things really get anyone? Just from the average person on the street, I shouldn't really say, I could say that someone who's kind of just existing and they don't really seemingly do much, say really, others in the public would. Don't you just hate trying to find the right words to, I suppose someone who's a fundamentalist churchgoer, or someone who, or like us, it's like, believe what you want to believe. But it's like, in the end, do you know where is it going to end up taking you? That's just it. Where is it going to end up taking the individual, what they believe? As opposed to what they, yeah, I'm sorry, Pegasus, I was just going to say, yeah, as opposed to what they don't, like, you can believe some that, I guess, yeah, I'm just more interested, I want to know something the truth, yeah, what is it, what is truth as opposed to believe, yeah, because, like one guy said on some show, just because you believe something doesn't make it the truth. I mean, the big truth, whatever that could be. Just because, I believe something doesn't mean it's the truth. So, yeah. They might think it's their truth, their personal truth, but, Oh, what's that?
I totally understand why people have beliefs. Because it's living in the hope that the world's not a piece of shit. I mean, really. People want to believe that it hasn't all totally gone. Like it hasn't even entered their mind, like that the world's totally fucked. And so belief is some kind of hope. It's not actually faith. I think that's something else. But it's like hope, and I guess someone's got to anchor the hope, don't they? Everyone does their part, whether we notice or not. What everyone does their part, I
guess. Yeah. I feel you too on that. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I do that quite a bit too. I sigh. Yeah.
I don't talk out loud very often because, probably like you, I'm all alone most of the time.
Yeah.
So my conversations, my whatnot, whatever, it's all in my head, So I do talk out loud to myself, like occasionally as if there was another person here or maybe a cat. It's really me talking to myself.
Yeah, I finished thoughts in my head out, and they weren't. Yeah, they're not. A lot of them aren't really good thoughts, but yeah, I've had a lot of thoughts in my head. Anger thoughts. Yeah, some stuff going on in my head. I actually will start venting aloud, even if it's mumbling. I might find myself just mumbling aloud all of a sudden. It's like, oh boy, I'm really, I got to get my awareness. I feel like my awareness shield, as I call it, is down. I'm not,
Sure, and you're letting it out before you explode, right?
Well, that's part of it. Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, I don't really want to. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be destructive, actually physically destructive in my anger either, and also it's like there was something else there that if I can remember else what it was, there was something else that another reason I end up. Oh, that's what it was, Pegasus. Yeah. It's like then I have to remind myself. Oh, I have this millisecond thought of I'll suddenly just let it go. Like I'll just clear my head. I'm able to clear my head. I had this millisecond, like something just changes within me, and then I'm okay again. Or I might start laughing about something. I'll get be on a laptop. And I'll have to find something just basically to just get out that cynical mindset. I don't know, maybe it is a good thing though. To vent that out verbally, even in your own space. Yeah, like you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit in your own housing, your own shelter. It's just like saying you're doing. You're talking about. I'm so glad to be out of that shit. Yeah, I might even be saying that out to yourself. Yeah. So you have a cat, right? You have a cat?
No, not at the moment. I haven't had a cat for about 10 years now.
Oh, okay. For some reason I was thinking maybe it's something you said earlier. I was thinking you had a cat there or something, and I could be thinking about Jane's cat.
No, it's just if someone walked past at certain times, they might think I was actually talking to someone else at the kitchen table or a cat. But I've always done it anyway. And I'm just talking to myself, not a fractal of myself, not just me talking to me, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't be called the crazy cat lady because I don't have any cats.
Said crazy cat lady. It makes me think, Pegasus, that I'm sure you've heard of them. Yeah, there's some people who have too many cats, or maybe too many dogs, or too many of what, or any animal. They just seem to.
Can't say no.
Oh, what's that? What'd you say, Pegasus?
They can't say no.
They can't say no.
Oh yeah, another one.
That's funny. Yeah, they keep. Yeah, I get. Yeah, I get it. By some people, yeah, they'll take an animal in, and they have a bunch of the cats. Especially, I'll mainly even a cat, because all these stray cats will get taken in. They don't have any tag or nothing on them. No collar, and they'll just show up at someone's door.
I adopt one. I don't just take one off the street. But yeah. But then again, a lot has changed, right? I'm commitment phobic right now. When I was 17, I had no problem, right? But now I'm commitment phobic. But I don't like vaccines and stuff, and so I would not keep up with that kind of stuff like I used to in the past. And that's considered very bad.
I definitely, I guess my position now, it's like some people would say, well, I'll just stick with my position rather than say, some people would say, well, give me a hard time if, I'll take it in a cat that shows up, or go to some place to adopt a cat, whatever. It's like, I take care of myself just good enough. And plus, how you can barely, just kind of do the basics for your life. And like, I've had I don't think I'm really still in much of an emotional state healthy enough to be able to, care for another animal besides myself. It's like I'm better off.
You totally understand that, and you wouldn't put the poor animal and yourself through that stress, because I've seen that before, and it's not good.
Nah, that's why I don't like it when there's just some people who don't really. I mean, they shouldn't have kids, period. But or much less, animals of some type. Because they just don't. They don't even take care of themselves well enough. So why would they? Although there's a few people like that. There's a few selfless people like that. They'll take better care of their pet or their companion. Better they take care of themselves. They maintain themselves. They're still sound enough in the head, and emotionally they're not completely gone. And there's a whole lot of people that are the opposite. It's like, oh my God, you shouldn't even have an animal. You shouldn't even have a companion. Yeah, if you treat it like that. And it might not even, it could be just anything. They might not feed them enough. They might neglect to feed them too much. And you wonder why that animal's in your face. It doesn't want to play with you. It's like, meowing at you or barking at you and putting its paw up, or its, paws up, and it's like, I'm hungry, feed me. Yeah, where's my food at? Type of stuff like that. Yeah, it's like, how many hours has it been? Did you forget about me?
Yeah, I don't know much about dogs, but I know a lot about cats. So I can actually purr. They like.
You said purr like a cat?
Yeah, actually. Guy next door is using a jackhammer, so it sounds like a
I think I
massive
hear
cat.
that. Yeah, I thought I just heard something faintly in these headphones, like on your end. Yeah, faintly, but loud. Luckily, I can hear you fine over that.
Yeah, he's ripping down an old shed, and the concrete slab, he's like, yep. But the door's shut, so.
Yeah. That's another thing I don't like is if they're working on the road and I just happen to near all that loud racket coming from those machines. I don't like loud racket in my ears like that. Yeah. It's
well, I have to go do some food shopping and stuff. So.
And you said you had to do something.
Yeah, I've got to go food shopping and get some milk and bread and pay my phone bill and, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because if I don't pay my phone bill, my internet goes really, really slow, and then it pisses me off.
Yeah. You just reminded me because they supposedly increased my Wi-Fi speed. It's like I have a router. I use a router, so yeah, mine's already. It seems I'll say good enough so far. I mean, yeah. It's going up from like $76 and some change, 76 something to like 91. It's going to go up to $91. So yeah, I'm like, oh great, just because they're increasing my speed without letting me know. But yeah, of course I got a notice about that in the regular mail. But obviously on the website they do tell you that stuff too. Yeah, at least I'm glad we have this. But think before Skype, I can remember being on Skype for a long time.
Yeah. I got locked into my first account because I couldn't remember things to get back in.
Remember things to get back into what? Skype or?
Yeah, I had to make up a new account.
Yeah.
But I never had credit. I only ever just called computer to computer.
Oh, you did? What was that, Pegasus? I caught most.
I said I never got Skype credit or anything like that. I just called computer to computer with my man. So.
Okay.
It's not like I lost money or anything. Like. Yeah.
I like Zoom. I admit, yeah. I mean, I like it because, at least for me, visuals are even more. What do you call it? Personal, because I mean, this is still as close as I can get to person in person. Obviously, like, but
yeah, I've got a sticker permanently over my camera.
What about you? Got what? Is it permanently on your camera? What?
A sticker.
A sticker? Oh, okay. A sticker. Yeah. Over your camera?
Yeah.
It is kind of funny.
Anybody can ever be bothered trying to see what I'm doing. There's there's a sticker.
Maybe I should put a sticker image on my camera. Not even what you got. Like that, just like a lot of people have just a blank space, or they'll just have their avatar thingy looking.
I tried to do that, but I think you actually have to have a Zoom account to do that. Whereas I don't. I just click on the link and join in. So I check my profile and I can change my name, but I can't put a picture up.
You should be able to put a still up. Or a picture, yeah, because I've got mine still, my original pic on Zoom. I still have it, the same one I use. And the mirror, like this girl I know. I don't really consider her a friend anymore, even though she was over recently. But yeah, she took a picture of me in the mirror with holding a cigarette. So yeah, same one I've been using on and Unfuckers in on Zoom. She's on Facebook. Yeah, same one I've been using on Facebook. Yeah.
Are you going to stay on just in case someone comes in?
For now, yeah. unless you're going to be going, Pegasus.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to come back before I go out, so I'll probably sign out.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I knew you got to. I knew you have to do some stuff. Yeah.
Hey?
What's that, Pegasus?
I got to go now, okay?
Okay. Yeah, you cut out for a second. All right. All right, Peggy. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Love you. Yeah, I love you. Yeah. Bye. I guess you heard all that. Okay.